to our channel. My name is Crye Croft and I'm with Crye-Leike Realtors.
I'm Becca Poole with Community Mortgage.
And we are here for another month of recipes. We are going to be doing a recipe for February, and we are making
a triple berry crunch.
That's right. It's going to be so good, just in time for Valentine's Day and getting those recipes together. So we're going to get started here in a few minutes, but I want to tell you that our special topic today is going to be about down payments and home ownership. So stay tuned. All right, so Becca's with us from Community Mortgage, and she's going to be my special guest today. And we're going to be making the triple berry crisps, and she's going to tell us what ingredients we need.
Okay, so we're going to start with an 8x8 glass pan. You can use glass or metal, whatever you want.
Okay.
For our topping, we're going to use a cup of old-fashioned rolled oats, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 1/4 of a cup of flour, 1/4 of a cup of sugar, 3/4 of a cup of melted butter, and a teaspoon of cinnamon and a dash of salt.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, well, if you want to go ahead and mix that up, we'll show you what we're doing as far as mixing up the topping first, and then we'll get to the meat of the triple berry crisp. So, Becca, you want to go ahead and mix that
Sure.
up? And while you're doing that, I know that this time of the year, people are talking about home ownership, and they want to know a little bit about what does it mean to have a down payment for a home.
Well, your down payment is your initial deposit when you're purchasing. So we have programs that require down payments. We also have some products with down payment assistance or a no down payment, just depending on your circumstance. So we can look at any of those loan programs for you. So basically you want to make your down payment from either your own funds. They can be gift funds from a relative. But they do have to be able to be sourced. So we want to make sure we know where those are coming from before we start the loan process.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people were wondering, how do you get started with your down payment when you don't have anywhere to start? So how can we start?
You can start a savings plan. If you haven't already done that, it's never too late. You can always just look at your budget each month and figure out maybe where you can cut some costs. For me, I'm a Sonic addict, so sometimes I have to cut back on how often I go to Sonic.
There you go, or Starbucks.
Or Starbucks, whatever your poison is. But honestly, it's just a matter of being conscientious about your money and knowing where you need to save and what you want to save for. Homeownership is usually the biggest expense you have in your entire life, so we want to make sure you're prepared for that. Again, like I said, down payment can be your own funds that you've saved. It can be used, sometimes you can borrow from a 401k if you have retirement funds available. You can also, like I said, you can get gift funds from a relative that we just have to document a certain way. And right now, this time of year, it's great because we have a lot of people that are getting tax refunds back. So they can use their income tax refund as a part of their down payment as well.
Okay. So can you give us some examples of let's say I wanted to buy a house for $200,000. So what percentage of that do I need, or how do I know how much of a down payment that I need?
So we're going to look at what loan program that you qualify for. If you're qualifying for an FHA loan, they require a minimum down payment of 3.5% of the sales price. If you're looking at a conventional loan, they require anywhere from 3% up to as much as you want to put down or are able to put down. Sometimes the 3% does have some extra restrictions or requirements on it. But if you don't meet those, then it's a minimum of 5% down.
Okay.
And if you want to consider down payment assistance, we have programs for that both in the state of Tennessee and Georgia. And Community Mortgage is actually coming out with a special product that hasn't really been announced quite yet to everyone.
Here we get the special.
So it's an FHA product that offers down payment assistance.
Okay.
And you do not have to be a first-time home buyer for that one.
Oh,
so there will be more information coming out about that in the next week or so.
Okay, so if you want more information about the special that's coming out with Community Mortgage, you can make sure you contact Becca here at our office, at Crye-Leike office here in Cleveland, or we'll have her information at the end of the show as well. So Becca, what are we doing here? It looks so good and yummy. I can smell the cinnamon.
We have our crumble topping for our triple berry crunch. So that's just all mixed together, and we're gonna set that aside while we do the filling.
Okay, so now we're back. We've got the topping made, and now we are going to do our filling, which is some yummy berries that I see over here. What do we need to make our filling here, Rebecca?
So you're gonna use 4.5 cups of mixed berries. These are just frozen mixed berries.
Okay.
A fourth of a cup of flour, a fourth of a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of vanilla, and a half a teaspoon of lemon juice.
Awesome. Okay, so we're doing 4 cups.
4.5.
4.5. Okay. Make sure I get this. These berries look amazing. 2. And then while we're while I'm doing this, I know you talked about the down payment and how we need to save. Is that all I need, or is there something else I need to be thinking about besides the down payment?
In addition to your down payment, you do have closing costs associated with the loan.
Okay.
Those closing costs are going to cover any lender fees, title fees, recording fees, appraisals, things like that. All the things that have to happen and come together to make that loan work.
Okay.
So your closing costs, again, can be your own funds that you've saved up for. They can be gift funds from a relative. You can also, when you're negotiating the sales contract, you can talk to the seller or talk to your agent about negotiating for the seller to pay a portion of those closing costs for you.
Oh, wow. Yes.
How much they can pay will depend on what loan product you're doing. So there are some limitations and restrictions on those, but we want to make sure we know what loan program you qualify for, and then we can let you know how much of those closing costs the seller can pay.
Okay, awesome. So, tell me a little bit. I know if you're following along with the recipe, I have just put everything that we just talked about for the ingredients in for our filling, and I'm just kind of stirring it up and getting it ready. And I know we're back and forth about the recipe and home ownership, but tell me a little bit about the closing costs as far as, is that all I need, and then I just come to you and we're ready to go, or?
If you have your funds ready, or even if you don't quite have your funds ready yet, we can still start that conversation.
Okay.
So that we know what you need to be working on to get you where you're trying to go. If we can look at, again, that down payment assistance option. Mm-hmm. Down payment assistance funds can be used for down payment and or closing costs. So it can cover both.
Oh, wow.
And we can always look at what you need. We want to make sure that what we're providing to you is the product that works best for you and your family. So we've got, maybe you have your down payment, but you need closing cost help, we can still look at that down payment assistance option. Having the seller negotiate, that sometimes is very helpful.
All right. Well, those are all helpful tips of home ownership and your down payment and closing costs. And if you need more information about this topic, you can call Persavia Croft, that would be me, or you can call Becca Poole and we can walk you through what we need. I'm not the expert on mortgages. That would be in Becca's field, and she can help you there, or your mortgage lender can help you. All right, so Becca, tell me what we need to do next.
So we're going to take your berry filling and we're going to put it in the bottom of the pan,
okay,
or bowl. And just kind of spread that out evenly.
Okay.
Then we're going to top it with our crumble to give it that crisp.
That smells so good. You can smell that cinnamon and those berries and all that buttery topping. And if you're like me, I like that crunch of the berries, and make sure you have some ice cream to go on top, because that's going to be amazing.
And we've got our crumble here on top.
Okay, so we have the topping. It smells so good, Becca. What else do we need to do?
So we're going to put this in a 350-degree preheated oven for about 40 to 45 minutes till it's nice and bubbly. And then we'll take it out and let it cool for about 7 to 10 minutes.
Awesome. All right. And because we are in the Crye-Leike kitchen, we do not have an oven, but we do have one that's already made, and we will be right back. All right, here we are back with the finished product.
And remember, here is our before
And here is our after. And it smells so yummy.
It does smell really good.
Yes, we're gonna scoop some. Oh, be careful, it's really hot and warm. So we have some vanilla ice cream that we're gonna put on top as well. So, ooh, that looks so good.
It looks delicious.
Yes, thank you.
The vanilla ice cream is optional, but why would you not have vanilla ice cream if you can?
Why would you not? Why would you not? Thank you so much. You guys are going to enjoy this. Next month, we are also doing another recipe for March. It will be lemon bars. So you do not want to miss that for March. And like I said, if you did not receive one of my delicious dessert calendars, we will have the recipe at the end of this video. And we also have all the contact information for Rebecca Poole with Community Mortgage. And we do have some last tips before we take, well, let's take a bite because it's feeling too good. Look at this for Valentine's Day.
Huh?
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Okay, that is really good.
That's delicious. So Becca, any last tips before we complete our program on home ownership and baking?
So first things first, make this recipe. It's really good. And if you're really wanting to buy your first home or your second home or third or fourth, if you're wanting to buy a home this year, get in touch with the mortgage lender. I will be happy to help any of you however I can. But step one is talking to a lender and finding out what you qualify for. So you know your price range, you know what loan program options you have available, and then we can set up a step-by-step program for you of what you need to be saving for, what that's going to look like for you, and how that journey is going to happen. As soon as we know that, we get Prasavia involved, and she's going to take you out there and help you find your dream home.
Absolutely. I'm Prasavia Croft with Crye-Leike Realtors.
I'm Becca Poole with Community Mortgage.
And thank you very much. We'll see you next time.